CDs, there was no change. It did not mature this time. Its value is $47,870.79. And of course, we did close out the savings account transfer of $6,712.33 and deposited in the money market account. Rhonda, do you have anything now?
I will tell you that next month, those accounts that have been closed out will fall off of this report, so it's big enough for you to see again.
Thank you.
I thought you would appreciate that. But I needed to put them all on there to show you and reflect the changes and everything that were made. My notes are pretty much what you had there. All our bank accounts are reconciled. Please notice your running total report that you ask for every month. We have a running total of $3.846 in that ARPA money that's still left for us to draw down. We still have $80,000 worth of easement checks that I have cut, that I'm waiting on paperwork back in, but actually this will be able to change. I got some in right before these last few days, but that still is reflective of the total dollars that we're using, okay? And so that everybody does remember, I'm working with Sean and Volcare to actually cut checks according to what they're working on. And then that way they can go out, hand the person a check and get the paperwork signed. Mm-hmm. So I'm working to balance that behind the scenes to make sure there's not too many checks out, watching that balance is in our easement account. And then I'm billing the county. So right now there is a bill with the county that I've turned in the middle of the month for $47,000. That check should be coming in any day now. I would expect sometime maybe into this week, early next week. And that will allow me to release some more money to go towards easement checks. On the billing spreadsheet, I gave you a new one because I added down at the bottom, you will notice a whole bunch of easement checks. It's another $47,000 worth of easement checks that I added to that because those just started rolling in. Sean was sending me one a day, I think, for a while. Hey, here's another one. Hey, here's another one. And so I'm going to go ahead. We talked about doing one now and then in the middle of the month, but that $47,000, I'd really like to get it back in, and it's a nice chunk, so I'm going to go ahead and bill it to the county tomorrow when I do our regular billing. And if we get both of those back, now we're back up to having, $90,000 that I can work with them on. Just so you know that that's there. I did add that, and I wanted y'all to see that. I don't guess there's a lot of things that are very notable on it. Do you have any questions?
That last number that's left in the ARPA money,
Mm-hmm.
3,000,008. Would you say 3,000,008?
$3,846,000.
Right here. Mm-hmm. On the second page.
Yeah.
3,000,846.
And of course, you can take that down another $150,000 or so, because I'm going to bill some more. So.
Yeah, need one of them.
It runs down pretty quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? Anything else y'all would like to see?
I have one more thing too, after she's finished.
Hey, is there a place where we can just kind of see how much have we spent on easements today?
Yeah, I can do that real easily.
Just ballpark.
I will, well, actually, I don't know if I can tell you that just real quick. If I run a different report, I could have. I can send it to you. Because I've got it on the balance sheet, it's easements and easement purchases. And I should have printed that, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I can get that to you. My memory is so bad these days, don't ask me to remember anything. If I don't have it in hand, dare say it. But I'll be glad to send that to y'all. I can send that to y'all right after the meeting. You do need to know that, and I should have included that.
You're doing a great job, and we appreciate your
Oh,
work.
thank you. Glad to do it.
Yep.
Anyway, any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bobby?
And I have one other thing on our money market account. When we opened the account, the interest was below $20,000 was 4.9272%. Equal 20,000 to 50,000 was 2.9595%. From 50,000 to 250,000 is 1.9818. And then greater than 250,000 was 0.9959. Okay, and on the second sheet that I handed out to y'all, I got, like this week, new interest. They done dropped it. So the only one they dropped was the $20,000, the first one, and it dropped from, what, 4.92 to 4.5441. So I just want to let y'all know that it has dropped already.
That's still better than what you get now, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not griping, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I just let y'all know what we were getting.
Yeah.
The day we did that, they actually told us that it was probably gonna drop Monday. A few days later, I believe, wasn't it, Ms. Moore?
Yeah.
And it did.
I think we did it right when the federal reserve.
That's it. Yes, ma'am.
That makes something ever read that.
The thing that really irritates me, and wants to see if here's our backs do this, Bobby, but some of them now, in order to encourage new deposits, they're giving a different rate for existing customers than they are for new customers.
Yes.
If I start hitting us for that much, well, okay, we'll just, when one rolls out, we'll take it to a different bank, yeah.
Sure.
Because, yeah, that 50 cents enough times, well, it makes a difference.
Yeah, a whole lot of money.
And it really irritates me that banks are doing this. You would think they'd want to protect their existing customers, but that's not the way they're working right now.
No. I agree, Mike. Any more questions? I get a motion to approve financial.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Well, we got both of those. We're into old business. I want to change up a little bit of your format. First, I would like to have discussion and inclusion of an additional rate that is solely volumetric and would not include a meter fee. Let's start on that, and actually, we've got some more things to talk about along with that, but let's kick that out there instead of waiting on it, if y'all don't mind. So, we did away with the 250 and went to 25 cents. That's what we talked about, right? Yeah, and I'm doing this for your benefit too, right?
We haven't done away with anything yet.
Right, I'm talking about the discussion.
Oh, okay.
Is anything changed, anything positive? Because we'll have, and one reason I want to do this, because I've been talking to Tull today, and they are very interested in being a part of this. And we know Science is. And so for East End sake and the other ones, we need a decision, or very close to one, so we can move on. And tell them, when they go back to their boards and everybody else goes back, we need to be able to tell them what we've done.
Yeah, I have a few questions. What would that make the wholesale rate?
Looking at 540.
Per thousand?
That's volumetric only.
Yes,
With the 25-cent meter fee
yes,
per meter?
yes.
So, and then my other question is that I did a little bit of the math. As far as the treatment plant, aren't we building a 15 million gallon a day treatment plant? And adding 2,500 meters would get us to what, 14.5 MGD accounted for, max capacity?
2,500 meters.
With Sardis and Tull? I saw somewhere it was 2,500.
Around 1,200.
Oh, somewhere it said 2,500.
Yeah, their engineer's supposed to be here tonight. I don't see Carl yet. But don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
That was the number that I had.
Even so, we're at 81.7% capacity of our plant before we even get off the ground with the current people that we have sitting at this board.
Well, it's not by contract. contract minimum is only 6.
But our contract maximum is at 81.7%.
Yeah. I
And
don't know how many meters total it's bringing, and I don't even know how much water they need.
do we actually think the Department of Health is going to approve plans for a plant that is already at 81.7% capacity, or the 97% capacity if we add an additional 2,500 meters?
The question, if contract max, if everybody's running a contract max.
Yeah, because I spoke with Department of Health last week about something that they were doing for us on our booster pump station, and they said they will only consider the maximum. They won't consider the minimum when they're doing new stuff. Yeah.
Mariah, I may be wrong, but I'm looking at the contract itself, the last page, Exhibit 2,
Yeah.
and assuming we're going with the 25 million gallons a day, is that what, or 22?
No.
22 is the capacity of the
Intake,
water line.
yeah.
The plant is lower than that?
Plant's 15 million gallons a day.
Okay. Well, if you take, well, 11.275 over 15, then
That's the minimum. Isn't the maximum 12.25?
that's maximum.
Is that the most updated one?
Huh?
Is that the most updated one?
Yes, it's the one I've already signed.
Okay.
So whatever 11.275 over 15, it may not be much different than 89%, but I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't
it's
think it is.
it.
I just don't want us to get in a bind where we're building a plant, we're already at 80% capacity, and I don't see any way that health department says, yeah, go for it. As a state, I don't know why they would do that. So that's my concerns.
It's 75.16.
It's pretty high for a plant just getting off the ground. It'd be pretty intense. And that's without Sardis until.
I don't know qualitatively, just quantitatively, it's 75%. And it'll cheapen a line to extend from what I understand.
Who told you
It'll do what?
Who told you that?
Who told me what?
That they would only consider maximum amounts?
Matt, his name was Matt, at Department of Health. He wasn't in the engineering section. I had to talk to him about changing some stuff. Yeah, he said, because we have 3 pumps, and he said he would only consider the two pumps, the pumping capacity of 2 pumps.
Yeah, no, that's N-1 redundancy is what they're talking about there. But
Well, I think even if it does pass health department, I'm not sure that if we're going to 14.5 MGD or whatever it would be, are we really comfortable starting up a plant that we're already at full capacity on, regardless of if they approve it or not?
How many customers are there between, I'm just trying to stick to numbers, Mariah, on your line of reasoning. How many customers total between the two? Not total customers, but that they intend to serve with our water? How many is that? 1,200?
Tell, that was never out there.
Sardis.
Oh, and Sardis is, they're only doing partial.
Right.
What was that, Bob?
I don't remember.
I was told it would add a total of about 2,500 meters,
With
give or
both of
take.
them?
With both of them, give or
That's
take.
probably gonna be close.
Yeah.
Weren't they wanting like 250,000 gallons a day?
I'm sorry.
250,000 gallons a day, is that what Sardis was gonna take?
Something like that.
Sardis was,
There's mainly a
I
backup.
don't think it was that much either.
No,
Was it not?
Yeah.
there's
Might
mainly
have
a
been
backup.
That's primarily what Sardis is gonna use it for. I mean, they're married to wells.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sardis was 290,000 gallons a day.
That's their max?
That's all they want to buy.
So that's their max that they'd be allocated
No,
for?
that's their minimum take or pay.
What's their maximum?
Probably 445,
Is it the maximum?
What is it, it's 1.5?
Twice the amount?
1.5. 1.5.
Just 1.5.
So it's, yeah.
1.5 times your minimum.
So it's 435 a day.
Yeah.
What about tall?
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't
It ain't gonna be
know.
much.
I've been told,
When Carl would be.
I think they're gonna be split, there'll be a split system with Malvern, and I don't know how they're gonna define that split.
Man,
I don't know.
yeah. And they were supposed to be here but didn't come?
Yeah, I talk to them every week, just about, the president of that board down there, and, he said Carl was gonna try to be here tonight. That's their engineer, you know, Matt knows.
Do you have
Okay.
any idea how many customers they have?
No,
It can't be very many. I mean, unless they go way out, yeah.
They do.
Do they?
They go all the way back to the Benton city limits almost up 35.
Yeah.
And they're down to Tawny Road, where there's been a whole lot of new homes built, all the way down 190 to Toll and further south.
Yeah.
There's not much back, they don't cross the Saline River, of course, but,
So getting finished water to them is gonna be very expensive.
1,000 or 1,500 or maybe 2,000 on that system. I mean, I'm on it.
Yeah.
At my farm on Highway 35, which is just 4 miles from Edison.
But getting the finished water back to them is not gonna be cheap, is it?
That's gonna be actually very cheap.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
He said it's not going to be cheap to get finished water to them.
Well, we're hoping to wheel it through Benton.
I'm already connected to
Oh,
them.
you already connected to
Yeah,
them?
that's-
Oh, okay. Okay, so it'd be just fleeing out through y'all.
It's the valve's closed.
They've
Okay.
applied it for years.
Yeah, well, if it was fleeing, that's a different story.
So the actual getting finished water to them,
That's not an issue.
It's just
that's not gonna increase your
Cock
cost.
Hill.
Yeah.
Matt, I have a question on the $5.40. Is that $2.50 when you take it off? Is that what you raised that to make it $5.40? Is that equal?
Right, you take
So,
the 250 down to 25 cents, you gotta make it up with the wholesale.
yeah,
rate, so-
yeah. I mean, they're equal of what you added to the per thousand gallon is equal to the $2.50 meter fee?
Well, I dropped the meter fee to 25 cents.
Yes, we didn't drop it completely, but I'm talking about what we dropped. We just basically did away with it.
That delta just comes off the meter fee and goes on the wholesale.
Okay, so it's even money, basically equal money.
Is it with Toll and Sardis included or no? So it could go down once they, or if they,
Yeah, Perry, I got another question. What will we have to do to contracts?
Section 3.0, I was expecting that question.
Okay.
Section 3.02 mentions $2.50. Exhibit 1 likewise says, this is important, Exhibit 1 says, subject to adjustment pursuant to Article 3.01, it's an estimate, okay? We never promised people, these are people's exact figures, you never did.
Yeah.
And that was with good reason. It's your best estimate of what it will cost. All that needs to be done is, everybody's section 3.02 needs to have that $2.50 amount replaced with 25 cents, and everybody's exhibit 1 needs to have $4.98 replaced with $5.40. But it's an all or nothing thing. Either everybody's individual boards approve of it, or with the whole idea being every contract be identical, and nobody gets favored treatment or anything like that, and that's promised. So it's all or nothing.
so our governing bodies do need to re-sign off on it.
I would think so, yes. To have a valid contract, you would need.
And if they're not comfortable with that,
If any one of your boards is not comfortable with that, we resort back to this. Now, 3.02 does allow you the leeway. Hold on one second. Upon initial water service, monthly meter charge charged to each constituent entity at a uniform rate for each end user meter and purchaser system at the rate of $2.50 per meter per month. This will be used to defray per gallon charges for delivered water as may be applied to debt service operations and maintenance or to build SRPWA reserves. So in section 3.2, it's stated as a definite amount. In the exhibit, it's stated as your best approximation of what will happen 4 years from now. So I would submit that, yes, for that to be changed, not only do you have to vote on that positively, but you have to go back to your constituent entities. Everyone has to buy in, or this stays, this is the default.
Okay.
So we don't have two rate options, just one rate option for everybody.
That's been the concept all along.
Okay.
One
And that's fine.
thing that doesn't weight votes according to how many water users you have. That was, I think, the dream at the beginning, and I think Matt made a good presentation on why that needs to remain the same.
Yeah, so you're gonna get the revenue based on the minimum purchase. So whether you use it, you're still paying the bill of your minimum water usage times that rate. And that's gonna generate the guaranteed revenue for financing. I assume that our funding, NRC, they won't require us to have debt service by the base rate or anything like that. They'll allow that. Because it's contractual, just as good as base.
You don't have to have a meter fee. You can just, as long as you get your base rate, you can take or pay contracts, you're good.
Have they said that the revenue that we would make from the contracts that we have and have turned into them is good enough to meet the stipulation that they put forward in the funding application?
NRC?
Yeah.
I've not had any discussions with the NRC in quite a while. They've got our contracts.
And if I may just add one last thing, Benton was always the party that had the greatest interest in lowering the per meter fees so that there might be more flexibility in that. But it really becomes, I think, critical if it's Tull that's looking at less than all of their system. Tull will probably not want to join in. We may not want them, or you may not want them, to defray our costs. But
It's both of them.
It's ours.
it's Sardis as well?
It's both of them.
Okay. Whether or not you want those additional constituent entities and their customers on your, within the water authority, might drive how seriously you guys want to look at lowering the monthly meter charge, combined with what Todd has been saying for years now.
I got, so if over time, what variable does this board have the ability to change on cost?
Per gallon.
And that's it?
That's estimated, the 250 is solid,
Okay,
according to these agreements.
okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, I was just making sure.
So unfortunately, you do need your board's approval.
I don't, but
So,
I know.
because
y'all.
the rest of them.
Kim,
Yeah.
let me ask you, what about, have you been back to talk to Keith or the board?
We have a meeting in the morning,
Okay.
and that's why I want to take this to them and
Yes,
let
ma'am.
them decide. I know that we had agreed to not take water at all, but if they're dropping the no meter fee because we don't want enough water, we don't have to have enough water to supply our whole system. We're going to still maintain our plants. So we were kind of like Sardis, we didn't want to use, but the meter fee per, that was what was going to drive it up so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the whole reason I
Right.
bailed out of the finished waters, because, I mean, I was needing 2 million gallons. That's not even close to what I need for my system, So that's why it was, my cost per gallon was driven up, because when you have 16,000 customers and you're only furnishing, roughly, 25% of the water is, it just, when you switch it that way, that's why I left out the way, because it changes the cost per gallon.
Maybe that's about it, just so I kind of had in my head right. I'm adding up 7.51 million gallons per day of minimum, that's the minimum contract amount that I've won so far. Is that the right number?
No.
That's 7.5?
No, it's 11.27 or something, you just said it.
Because then you multiply, that's the minimum, then if you multiply, that by, 1.5, we're only allowed to get up to 10, and then 10 times 1.5 is 15, that's our max. So we got between 10 and what we're contracted out to right now is the difference of available capacity that could be allocated out.
11.275 and 15 is the delta.
11.27.
That's the maximum.
No, that's the minimum.
7.5?
Okay, that's what I got. Yeah, 7.5.
How does that work?
So,
Oh, I'm sorry, that's per day, yeah.
that's your minimum.
5 times 1.5, there you go.
So if 7.5 is the minimum of everyone's contracted amount, when between 7.5 and 10 leaves us roughly 2.5 million gallons of water per day minimum allocation that could go somewhere. Sardis, Toll, it could go back to Utah if you want a piece of it. And I don't want to,
How is
I
the
think that's
minimum
an
not,
important thing to say.
how is the maximum not 1.5 times the minimum?
7.5 times 1.5.
Is 11.275?
right, and
And where'd you get
so
your number?
you got a 15 million gallon a day water treatment plant.
Right.
The difference is the leftover. I'm at 7.5 minimum million gallons a day of obligation. And then when that number gets to 10, you times that by 1.5, and you've maxed out your plant. So we got 2.5 available of minimum allocation that could be.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers are that high. 7.5.
That's including East End.
That's including East End.
That's including East
And
End.
Which is contractually obligated.
if we're gonna,
As a
to
maximum.
get water sooner, we don't use that much water.
850,000 gallons a day.
No, we don't use that.
So it's at- it's
Our
at
maximum
7.
right now is about
It's like
400 gallons.
6.65 is the contracted minimum.
Okay, well, that means even more.
For minimum or maximum?
Minimum.
Minimum.
We should be talking.
I'm talking maximum. Yes.
Yeah,
Because maximum is what's going to be considered.
because what Sardis is
Y'all are going
gonna
at the
want
same
is
thing, just a different way.
included in what we
Yeah,
have to
I'm
take.
looking at minimum, she's looking at max.
When that-
But the point I'm trying to make is,
Instead of not at all, and I guess other would come out.
Benton may want to get in, I kind of want a reserve piece for them, and then enough for Sardis and Toll. That's all I wanted to kind of do a check, and just make sure we're not over obligating ourselves, before some of the current members may want a little bit more by the time we get to this thing.
But a 15 MGD plant, we can't expect to put out 15 MGD, like you can't expect the health department to be like, oh yeah, you've got 15 MGD allocated in contracts, so put together a 15 MGD plant. Am I wrong? I mean, 10 state standard says at 80% capacity of a water treatment plant, you better be doing major capital improvements to it
Yep.
to increase capacity
That's true.
by 80%.
But this is not, this is true, but it's kind of contract, it is obligated, this isn't surplus water, this isn't like a wholesale, everyone who gets it is counting on every drop of it up to their max. Unless it's worded as, somewhat of a surplus or what's available. So you know the point, but on the other hand, you can better financially flow something than have it kind of in that upper loaded area so you generate the most revenue.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Saline Regional would ever like blow the plant out of proportion or whatever, I get that, but if we're trying to justify a 15 MGD plant and we're contractually obligated on max, which is what we have to be able to produce, and we're already at whatever it's at, whether it's over 80% regardless.
It's a good check, and the part that
I would not want to build a new plant that's already at 80% capacity and have people asking why you built a plant that's already at capacity.
they may come back and say we need to build a bigger plant.
Right, which is where I'm asking, have we considered that? Can we consider that? What's it do to the cost?
Chicken and egg thing, and startups are always like this, so there's a fine line. I understand your point, very good point, 80% would be 12 MGD. So there's a fine line there when a startup like this, because you say, well, we have to build a 20 MGD plant. Well, you just added $20 million worth of cost to the project. So there goes that 500. I mean, and so everything, you know, it's a,
Yeah,
There's some
I get the
quality.
cost is gonna suck, but at the same time, we need to be responsible and be thinking, I mean, if this is for future generations, it's not very forward-thinking to say we're putting a plant in the ground, but the day it starts, we have to turn around and start doing major capital improvements.
all right, yeah, we need to last the length of the amortization, is what we need to do.
Yeah.
It needs to be-
And I'm not sure if 15 NGD would last us that long. Especially adding more capacity to it.
This is Tom. I texted him, and he said just over 1,000.
Customer,
Just today.
Meters?
How many customers they have?
Just over 1,000 meters today. They're anticipating 1,200 and probably.
That's total.
That's total. He said just over 1,000
That's a-
today.
but then that's the point, we're to all 1,000, we're just needing a partial supplemental to feed that 1,000 along with Malvern.
They're gonna be taken from Malvern too.
Yeah.
And
I've always
this
heard
other
the
one,
number 300 from.
Yeah.
That's always been the number from top, about 350 meters, correct? And it's about twice that for Sardis. So it goes to reason that tall ballpark Mariah would need half as much as Sardis. 225, let's call it. If you add
225?
Plus 435, it's 660 a day. That brings you up to 12,000. That is your 80% right there.
Is the 225,000 a minimum guess though, or that was, you're guessing that as maximum?
Maximum.
Maximum.
Maximums, you're right at 12, 12 over 15 is 80%. So you gotta walk it backwards. Do you want to take these back to your boards to amend that because we want Toll and Sardis? Can we absorb Toll and Sardis? Do we need their customer base enough to absorb them, even if it gets us to 80%? I don't know the engineering answers, but
I do have one more question that I instantly know our governing body's going to ask for. We did a chart for when CAW rates are lower than Saline, or higher than Saline Regional's rates. Can we do that chart with the new wholesale cost? Thank you.
that's gonna be important. That's a good question.
Yeah, our board's definitely gonna ask for that.
While y'all are thinking and going, let me jump on you a little bit. Got a call from Water Association, Sheridan, called Little Creek Water Association, and he's gonna talk to Tull. They're on groundwater, and they would like to, they don't have all that many customers, but they wanna talk to Tull about doing an emergency hookup to them in case they need them, so. That's what's going on out there. Everybody's realizing the need for water, and they're lighting it up. So we need definite numbers.
Oh.
Yes, sir?
I just got some information from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Toll currently has 1,100 meters on
Okay.
the system.
Okay.
There is a tremendous potential or expectation for growth.
Yes, he said
Because
that.
of Benton out of land,
Yeah,
there's lots of buildable land down there. If they got water, they can build because it's all pine trees.
sure. By the time we build the plant, he said,
They'll have
be looking at 12,
2,500 meters in another 10 or 15
Yeah.
years down there.
but in 3 or 4 years, he said they'd probably be at 1,200 or 1,300.
Yeah, they're not gonna grow fast until it hits, and then they're gonna grow 500 a year.
Sure. Anybody else, any comments? Mr. Mayor, Haskell, anything you'd like to put in, we're listening right now. It'll be coming back to y'all when we make these changes. All for the good, we hope.
So is that in counting all these figures that she's saying,
It-
is that in counting?
Clyde, can you come up here so we can?
I guess so.
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't have raised my hand, huh?
No. Hey, we're very simple and we'll honest, hard
So
facts.
the only thing I got is, the max capacity. Is that including the growth of the cities for the next 20 years?
That's what you need to be figuring.
We don't
Yeah,
know. We don't know what your Haskell's growth or Benton's or anybody else's growth's gonna be.
but it's gonna be a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And that treatment plant will be designed to add to and make bigger on down the road.
All right.
And
That's the only.
we've got access to 22 million gallons out of the river, and Kimsey gave us another 7, so we're almost 30 million that we can take. In the meantime, in the next few years, we're gonna be applying for more.
Matt, was the 7 included in our contract with ANRC? A part of the 22? Didn't they give us 22 based on assuming that Kimsey was allowing us 7?
No.
So it's
That's
extra,
after
so you can pull
22.
29.
Yeah, the 7's over
that- yeah.
22. Yeah.
Have they put that in writing?
We have a contract with Kimsey that says we get 7, they'll give us 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. I think it'll be a good thing, but, you just, the max capacity stuff, that kinda got to me,
Yeah,
so.
sure. That's stuff we have to look at. We've got the water, we've just gotta be sure we make the right steps.
Yeah, I know Haskell will probably grow by probably another 500 homes in the next 5 to 10 years, so.
I guarantee you will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you will.
So,
At least.
if not more. Thank you.
No, anytime. Thank you for coming.
Where are y'all getting those numbers? 6.65 is the minimum pressure pay contract.
Would you read off what you got for each of the,
7.5.
the
I'm looking
folks?
for a contract right now. I cannot find it.
Sir?
Can I just check my numbers with yours? I've got 2.0 for Bryant,
Yep,
Yes.
0.33 for Haskell,
yes,
3.0 for Saline,
yes,
0.5 for Shannon Hills,
yes,
0.73 for Southwest,
yes,
0.1 for Woodlands Hills,
yes,
0.85 for East End.
yes.
What does that add up
For
to?
East End is not a contract. They've never agreed to that. So it's.
It's in the contract to be allocated for the plant.
It has to be allocated.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, I get, if you take that East End, that gets out to the 6, but I've got it added in as a possible revenue source.
We have the obligation to supply them water when they say go. We have to build that into the capacity. Legally, or else we're in breach of contract if we've run out of capacity by the time East End says go.
So that'll come out with 7.51 of our minimum obligation to all the current members. And you can continue to obligate up to the point to where you get to 10, and 1.5 is 15, unless that water plant can't do 15 at 15. You might need a little extra filter or a little extra tube setter and a clarifier to make that work, but we can cross that bridge when we get to that design point and see where we're at that time. Does that make sense?
I didn't get where you're getting to 10. Where are you getting to 10?
1.5 times 10 is 15. So the 10 is the maximum minimum contractual obligation we can tie up with a 15 MGD plant. When you get to 10,
Is that how the contract reads?
I thought you said 1.5.
Both are saying the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He's just going about it from the minimum slip. If
But
you
if-
talk in terms of maximums, that would clear that up.
Yeah.
We're both saying the exact same thing. Adding Tom Sardis would bring us to exactly 80%.
It's still got 80%, you got 20% of your maximum left over, which is,
That's for you engineering
Yeah.
types to figure that out.
well, that's still good. I mean, we still got plenty of room.
That's not 10
to
state
let
standard.
Benton get
That's
in.
not 10 state standard. That's not
Possibly.
state standard. That's not recommended in the industry at all.
I mean, they will have the opportunity to expand to that 22. 'Cause
Right, I'm saying we need to look at right away, and I hope that we all consider is having to put the plant in the ground and immediately upgrade. I mean, how much more
That's-
water,
that's
how
not
much
a
more
good-
development are we gonna take?
That'd be the simplest thing to do.
Now, at the time we start, at the time we get close to building the plant, if this obligation.
Where are we gonna get the
is
money
wrong,
to upgrade the plant?
Matt, how much money are we talking about there that would change that? Roughly.
How much you talking about? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
My mind was,
15 to 22, right off.
I'm not gonna say a number.
I got you.
I mean,
And then the pipe is what, 25 max?
That's a good question.
That is good.
22.
And
22 max?
entitled to 27% of that 25, so upgrading.
22 max, he said.
I'm so sorry?
You can only put 22 through that pipe? Or 25?
Pipeline is about, is that for 22?
22.
And they're, Benton's entitled to 27% of that, so.
We can only do 17
Yep.
at best.
Which might be handy in terms of keeping 20% below 20 million.
Let me ask you this, Perry, I don't know if this is even possible, but I mean, I know that there are a number of us who are not gonna need our maximum, right off the bat. And it's gonna probably be years, you know. Is there any way to where that, we could contractually maybe lower our minimum or our maximum?
Yes, if everybody's board says yes, which I would not recommend simply because a 1.5 multiplier from minimum to maximum is pretty narrow. It's a very narrow band in the industry. Most of you all have supply contracts that goes 2.0 times minimum.
Okay.
So, and it's more the engineers than anything, but just from looking at a few of these contracts, 1.5 is not a very wide band.
I'm just trying to think of another way we could hammer this nut, you know.
You know, worst case scenario,
And I will say, I agree with what Mariah's saying completely. Financially, the people that I serve, that Benton serves, will not take their maximum.
Yeah.
They'll take it from Benton. They'll take their minimum amount because of what they're looking at long-term, and they will grow into that growth over time. I know the price points, and they're gonna take it from Benton, so.
he's absolutely right. I'm on the southwest, I'm buying up to part 7.3, and now to drop more, I'm buying the west from Benton after that.
Well, we'd be continuing to buy from CAW, so
Yeah.
that matters for us, especially with the wholesale rate.
There's a lot of,
Side on side, we're asking for 3, we're only taking 2 in a little bit, and we're still taking for Benton. So we can,
I mean, those maximum numbers, I think at first are elevated. Now,
Yeah.
the issue is, if Benton never goes down,
Yeah.
or CAW, something happens to your alternate source, then it's like, hold on, I need my maximum, because I need to serve my customers.
Yep.
That's where then it gets into, and how long does that take?
yeah.
Yep.
When we want to vote on this, because the numbers look great to me, and I would be glad to make a motion for us to adopt this rate so that it can be presented to each of our folks.
Before, I'm gonna say, make a statement, and I probably shouldn't be saying it. I think the people on the board need to go back to their governing
Yeah.
bodies and make sure, because if you
Yeah, I'm not
change this.
saying, yeah,
Yeah.
No way.
If this board changes that tonight, and you have,
yeah.
I would take it a step further. We need a commitment from these entities that are talking about, well, I mean, all we're doing is talking. We've got skin in the game.
I agree with that.
We're the ones that, we're out there, we sucked it up and we,
That's a good point.
we made a decision. Okay, well now, East End's talking about getting out. Or wanting a different rate. We're bringing the, okay. I'm a little bit concerned, you know, here that, and we need to take care of the folks who were here from the get-go.
yep.
And I just,
Mr. Mayor, I do need to leave, but we can address that. The contracts that we would enter into with Tull and Sardis would be contingent on this board making that adjustment. The board can vote subject to approval of each individual constituency when we do get some sort of commitment from Tull and Sardis. It would be conditioned on or contingent upon everybody's board, because if there's one holdout, we stick with what we got.
yeah, I think that's the only way we can do it.
Okay.
If we need to do something tonight, we need to do it contingent on these entities accepting these conditions before we try to go to our boards. I mean, to me, that's getting the cart before the horse.
I wouldn't feel
That's
comfortable
doing it.
voting on anything contingent, knowing how much things can change and knowing how much they've already changed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel good until I talk to our governing body and bring it back. That's, at the end of the day, that's who I'm speaking for.
A couple months now, so I thought we were ready to
As it is
go.
right now, we don't have anything really to take to our boards. All we have is somebody says they might want to.
So for example, here's what I'm gonna tell my board, and I've always told my board that we were considering going to a biometric rate. And I just plugged in his numbers. For example, the old rate, the Southwest would be paying $1.431 million a year in revenue. With the new rate, we'd be paying $1.449 million a year in revenue. It's so close. And so from their point, what the board needs to know is this really going to cost us a whole lot more, a whole lot less? No, it's relatively the same. And that's what I'm going to tell my board, and that's what we've been telling them when Wendell's been here, coming back, that's what we've been telling them. So not to be presumptuous, I just thought we were at the point where we can.
I'm not even willing to take it to my board unless I have a commitment from these other folks.
Right.
Unless they'll come in here and say, yeah, we want it, we'll take this deal. There's no need in us going to our boards.
Yeah, I agree, it's gonna be hard to tell my board, well, they might be in, but if
Yeah,
they're in, this
exactly.
doesn't happen. And I think a big thing for us will be seeing that CAW chart of what 540
Yeah.
per 1,000 gallons would do, and include all their fees as well, but that's really
I want to
important.
know on these questions about 80% rule on these sorts of things too, and get back.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
I'm sorry, Dickie, but
No,
this person is supposed to have been here tonight.
Yeah.
If they were serious, they'd have been here tonight. If this was important to them, they would be here.
They have another meeting, but,
Well, they can set some.
we're going to Tull December the 1st, and we'll tell them, you know, the best we can, come to a meeting, and, we need to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need in us doing anything until they prove they're
Sure.
ready to go. They're ready to pull the trigger. The last thing I want to do is go to our boys with something and then come back and they say, well, they'll do it if you'll do this.
I talked to Roger today. He called me, and said he had a board meeting tonight.
Yeah.
He couldn't be
He couldn't
here.
be here. He
I
was-
talked to him last Sunday, that's what he said.
And he says that they are committed to go with us if we change to this,
Volumetric.
Right.
volumetric.
Is there any way they can be able to tell us if they want in a contract too? So we can figure that in?
It's just $200.
Both of them have told us?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So here's the thing, let's say Sardis and Toll get in, the only thing it does is gives Matt the opportunity to possibly lower that volumetric rate from 540 to maybe 520 or 530. Doesn't change a whole lot, but
Adds
it does
capacity.
provide the opportunity to bring it down a little bit for
It
us.
adds capacity to the plant as well.
And it does take some of the capacity, but generates more revenue, so opportunity to lower our rate a little bit. That would be the outcome.
Why can't we tell Sardis and Toll both that we need a letter from them, their board, committing that they will become a member of Saline Regional Public Water Authority if we pass this volumetric?
That's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
That'd be really helpful.
You okay with that?
Yes, that'd be really
Does it
helpful.
matter how much water they
I don't care if they join or not.
It matters to me.
I would vote for this.
Neither one
I
of
think
them.
it matters how much water they're willing to purchase.
Yeah, we need.
Yes.
I mean, if they're just gonna come in and say, we just want 50,000 gallons a day.
Neither one of them are messed up
Exactly.
about more than 25.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't care. They're not, neither one of them are messed up about paying 25 cents and getting the vote, getting on the board.
As long as they can tell us what they want to make every day too.
That's no problem.
All right? So we'll ask them to be, when Matt and I go to that meeting December
They
the
need to
1st.
write a letter of interest.
I would like to have something in black and white saying, we are committed, we will join if you,
Well,
Yeah.
they need to ask.
That's what I want.
Committed for how much
They
a
need to
day?
request to join.
There you go.
We need a motion, put that in the minutes, and we'll carry it to them December the 1st.
They need-
I love what he said.
My kind of man. Yes. I like it, my kind of man.
Y'all do it?
I made the motion to require Sardis and Toll to produce
The letter of
a
interest.
letter stating that they will join Saline Regional Public Water Authority, if the volumetric
Rate schedule.
rate schedule is adopted.
It's really pretty simple.
Pardon?
They just need to bring a letter asking this board to let them be a member based on these conditions.
Yeah.
Number one, there's a volumetric rate, we pay the same as everybody else. Number two, we want to take this much water per day. We agree to a minimum take or pay of this much water per day. And then it's up for y'all, it's up for y'all to decide.
Yeah.
They should be here hat in hand.
And then we decide, and then we have something we can take to our boards.
Yeah.
All right, I made the motion.
All right, and let me make sure too on something. Well, I made the motion, you know, and so I'm good with that. But do we need them to make a board commitment before we go to our boards?
Yeah.
We need
Well, I
what?
would hope that if they put it in writing.
Yeah, if they put it in letter, I mean, I don't want to just have some manager's signature on a letter, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't put anything in writing that the board
Well, you
didn't
see what I mean?
tell me I could, but yeah.
Bobby made that motion, wrote it down, would you second it?
Yeah,
That okay
that's
with
fine,
you?
yeah.
And read it back when you get through, be sure it's like you want it.
Well, I'm good with that. I heard what he said there. I just want to, but we want to make sure that whoever we all are talking to knows that we're expecting this as a commitment from their board, not from their manager.
Yeah.
Because we found multiple times during this process, managers sometimes have different opinions than their boards. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here right now.
I've never known Todd to do that.
What?
We have a motion second to require SARS and toll.
Right in this discussion at the moment.
We have a motion second to require toll and SARS boards to produce a letter stating that they will join Saline Regional Public Water Authority if the volumetric rate schedule is adopted. Second by Mike Kemp.
Any question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I agree, thank you. And let me say this before we go any further. We are going to take care of the people that started here first.
Thank
These
you.
members here are going to be taken care of first. These other ones, we're going to try hard to get them. It will lower the rates and all that other, but this, and they're good people. I hope they can make it.
Okay.
Any more questions? All right, let's move this thing along. Jumping around here, what about, my man I talked to from Granite? Would you, mind coming up? Tell us a little bit about you. I'm Dickie, we've talked on the phone, we've never met Jacob, but thank you for coming, my man.
Privileged to be here, yeah.
He's gonna explain to us what Granite does, and they work on grants, and, hear what he's gotta say.
Is this the only one you've got here tonight, Dickie?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll stay next to my computer so I can go back and forth, but
You're
Jacob
good.
Arnold, sincerely, it's a privilege to be here in front of everybody. Born and bred in Arkansas, my firm is based in Northwest, and I'm the COO. And simply put, what we do is help organizations, initiatives, just like you guys, find, win, and manage grant funding. I'm going to go through this presentation quickly. I'm going to show you an example of one of our products. Stop me at any point to ask questions, but I will be as quick as I can do. Very briefly, this was all born out of a tragedy. Our founders from Joplin, Missouri. In 2011, I'm sure you all recall the tornado blowing through there, the devastation. He got involved in the federal disaster relief. He learned how to work in federal grants, and since then, he started a few different firms that work in this space. To date, over $100 million that have been awarded and a $100 billion plus administered. And what I really want to call out about what we do is that it's very simple to figure out what your ROI is. How much you pay us and how much we bring in for you. And to date, it's over 100x. This is some of our past performance. My previous role was helping veterans transition out of service into their professional careers. I thought we used a lot of acronyms working with veterans. In the grant space, it's 10x. So on the left, you'll see some of the grant portfolio there. You'll see some of the private sector grants and people we've worked with. And then the diverse clientele on the right. We have been hyper-focused on working in Arkansas for the last year. And it's worth transparency to say we have a contract in front of Judge Brumley here in Saline County as well.
You told me.
Yeah, we work with county judges, we work with cities, we work with nonprofits, healthcare providers, institutes of higher education, you name it. For-profit businesses, you name it. Our recent claim to fame is we signed UAMS Northwest, and within 2 weeks, we wrote, submitted, and were awarded a grant for $300,000. I point that out just to illustrate how quickly we can surge up. It is unrealistic to expect us to turn around $300,000 in 2 weeks for anyone else, but that's just how we can meet clients where they are and get a shot on goal, if you will. This is the rest of my leadership team back in Northwest Arkansas today. Shannon's our CEO and founder from Joplin. He is uniquely qualified in this space. Most of that money that I mentioned earlier, $100 million awarded, $100 billion managed, is through his career. Devin Dan is our Chief Impact Officer. Her background's in the healthcare space. My background's in nonprofit management. We have client managers underneath us, and then we have 50+ grant writers around the country with varying degrees of experience, education, familiarity with funders, you name it. But we don't outsource work, we bring them in. If you guys become a client, you wouldn't see any of their work until we've vetted it and QC'd it for multiple rounds. But we have great grant writers that we work with, as well as writing a lot of grants ourselves as an executive leadership team. What we do, like I said, is finding, winning, and managing grants. If it was as easy as using ChatGPT or Google to say, SRPWA needs grants for this huge project, you guys wouldn't need us. Grants.gov exists, simpler grants exist, instrumental exists. The hardest part is finding it, truly. That's what we do. It's the expertise that we bring to the table. We are developing a platform. I won't exhaust you with it, but we leverage that in-house. Secondarily, it's the grant writing. Like I said, we take this very seriously. We don't write grants just for fun. We average 70+% winning. If we write a bunch of grants for you guys and you don't win them, it's no good for us, it's no good for you guys, and no one brings us back as a client. And then on the flip side of that, once you win it, we'll come in and we'll help you administer it. Most of these grants, especially state and federal grants, allow for about 20% of admin. We come in averaging about 10%. So anything else that's there can go to your bottom line. And then the last piece of the puzzle is strategic advisory. Outside of all of this, we have 2 lobbyists on contract. We know how to work on partnership cultivation. We know how hard it can be to have a lot of stakeholders in the game. So we can come in and act as a neutral party that represents everyone's best interests. How do we do it? It all begins with an exploratory call and a client profile. I've been learning about this project with Mr. Kentner, but if you guys bring us on, we would sit down and we would say, what are the most critical components that you need funded? What's that second tier? What are your dream things that you'd like to bring federal or state dollars into? We leverage that to create a client profile, and then within 30 days, we take that client profile and we match funding opportunities to it. What you guys are doing here has a tremendous amount of opportunity for federal and state funding. There's probably going to be some private opportunities out there as well. We give you that grant report, we meet once a month, and then we do active monitoring for the next 12 months. Because if I gave you a grant report tomorrow, it's going to look a lot different in 60 days. In this federal funding environment, it's a little volatile, but new opportunities are coming out all the time. But these NOFOs, these notice of funding opportunities, you might have 4 weeks to turn around and apply. So we don't wait until our monthly meeting to put something in front of you. We are representing you guys 24/7, 365. That's the 12-month roadmap. That is the grant report. I will show you guys an example of it. Throughout the year, we're obviously also doing strategic advisory. If you have questions about a grant, you guys see something, you need help lobbying for yourselves, etc., that's what we come in and do. And this is our package. In the center, it's called the Granted Launch Package. That's what I just explained. It's 12 months of grant reports, 12 months of monthly meetings. Any grant writing that we do is ad hoc, meaning we'll quote it up front, and you pay on top of that $10,000. These big federal grants, you're looking at probably a bottom floor, $5,000 a grant. If it's a $10,000 grant, that's millions of dollars that's coming in on the backside of this. This is all quoted at like an activity-based rate. This is how many hours are we putting into it, what's the challenging dynamic. Some grants take us 40 or 50 hours plus, but it's all quoted and dealt with up front. I'm not sure if you guys have the ability to write grants in-house. We can come in and provide technical writing or technical support on top of that. Or if we find a grant for y'all and you want to write it, excellent. We do not force ourselves in. We really try to meet you guys where you are. And not to create a sense of urgency, but all of those prices are going up next year. But because we've already presented this in front of Dickie, this is what we're offering you guys. And it's that simple. It's cost effective. We're a lower risk than bringing someone on full time to do this for you guys, to do the research, to do the writing, etc. You'd probably be looking at $70,000 in-house. I'm going to show you very briefly an example of our grant report. Make sure that's working there. This is from Northwest Arkansas Community College, totally different example, but I really just want to call attention to a few things. Table of content means nothing. Who we are, you guys have already heard my spiel here. Part of our team there. Our approach. This is the priority areas. This is back to that client profile. Taking what you guys need and using that for our grant research. But I want to show you what it looks like. We do this readiness analysis. Again, this is more of you guys understanding what you're needing already. But this is what each grant looks like. We're only putting grants in front of you guys that we believe have a high win probability. And we boil every grant down to 2 pages. Some of these no-fos are 20, 30, 100 pages long. But what's the most important information? Who's the funder? What's the name of the program? What's the potential award? And what can I use it for? And what's a specific example of what SRPWA can do? So that's what you see up here. Workforce development. Rolling means this grant program is open all year round until the funds roll out. A brief description of what the grant is, the funding details, eligible activities, period of performance, depending on if you have to spend those dollars within a set of time. Past funded applicants, that's where we typically start when we're shredding grant opportunities for you guys, is we don't look at it necessarily optimistically. We want to remove opportunities. What's going to make you guys not eligible? What's going to make this not interesting for SRPWA to get a shot on goal? So once we've done all of that pre-vetting, we will put it into one of these 2-page summaries. Then go as far as do a program design idea to get the balls rolling. And oftentimes, working especially in units of local government, there's going to be 100 grants for like Polk County as a client, as an example. I'm going to put every grant into that grant report, but when we meet once a month, we're going to talk to you guys about the most important ones, because what we want to do is put a plan together, understanding your bandwidth and living in reality. The reason you guys aren't already doing this isn't because of competency. It's because of bandwidth and awareness. And that's what we try to come in and do to help you, help support that. And that's the grant report. I appreciate any questions you guys may have, or if I can provide any other information.
Could you point to any water or wastewater grant that you've gotten?
This would be a new program for us, but I mean, wastewater, there's been, in Shane's history, he's worked on like quite a few. You know, that's where unfortunately I don't have that specific information, but I'd be happy to provide it.
I have just one other question, Ryan, and I'll shut up.
No, that was the same question I had, you just got that
I'm gonna see the Faulkner County judge day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
What have y'all gotten for Faulkner County?
They've been around for 6 months. It can take much longer.
So you haven't gotten anything yet?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, so you haven't gotten anything for Faulkner County yet, and you haven't gotten anything in this arena yet.
I think Judge Dobson would be very favorable of what we've been able to do, and part of the challenge with grants, and this is all due respect to them, is bandwidth as well. If Judge Dobson had the time to sit down and work with us 100%, we're still figuring that out. But in terms of wastewater, I'd be happy to provide a list of similar grants by end of week that we've worked on. That's just a little bit outside of my expertise. That's Shannon's background. So good questions. I mean, it's fair.
Have you ever worked with the state revolving fund before?
I believe so. I mean, that's a specific question for
Yeah.
Shannon again.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to see any work that you guys have done working with Natural Resources Division, who administers those funds. And if you guys have any relationship with them, that could be useful, beneficial.
Yeah, totally.
They also send out grants when you're signed up for theirs. I mean, Natural Resources Division keeps you pretty in tune with any grants that you might qualify for as a utility. So they do send us those notices every month.
Excellent. Yeah.
Or anytime it comes out, I guess. So just having a hard time seeing what grants we wouldn't be aware of, I guess, would be my question. What platforms would we not be looking at that you guys are looking at?
Yeah, I mean, that's every notice of funding opportunity. Every department is different. We're on 100+ newsletters. We have lobbyists and clients all over the country. So we're doing this all day. Unless you guys are doing it as much as we are, you're missing points. But if you feel really confident about it, I mean, the last thing that we want to do is work with a client who doesn't want us. You know what I mean? So that's where, like, this is all about matchmaking. And we provide a lot of value to the clients that we work with.
Hey, do your clients, have you worked for other utility type clients?
I mean, give me an example, like a
Like a water or wastewater utility? I mean, you've worked for universities, you've worked for schools, have you worked for counties?
right.
Have you ever done grants for utility type
I don't think
stuff?
so.
The other thing is, I probably consider y'all professional service and I think this is a great idea, to get someone to go after these grants, because you just never know what's falling through the cracks that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But would we have to advertise for professional service? We don't have to, Tom?
No.
Because of the amount.
Right.
The amount is below the level where you have to do any.
Okay.
Are we going to have someone that, on our team, that applies for these grants, or is that going to be an extra, I mean, he already said that's going to be an extra cost, so he's just going to be finding them. Anytime we want to apply for them, that's an extra fee.
Yeah. That's correct. Then you would go through that and see what it is, but during his, because this is one of his funding, if you heard, during some of the grants that they look for, there's typically an admin fee of 20%. And he says they're typically coming back at 10%. So the grant itself is funding y'all, your profit sometimes based on what I heard.
There's no pre-award costs that can come out of a grant award unless it's a really, really rare grant. So grant writing is paid up front.
Okay.
We call it speculative investment.
Okay.
We make no guarantees.
Right.
We agree on everything up front, but you cannot use an award to pay a grant. Even if someone says you'll pay
What does the
$6,000.
cost typically run to write a grant?
I mean, the answer is it always depends. I would
Federal
say
level.
The bottom floor, you're looking at probably $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, he said like 5,000 to 10,000.
Still.
So you just kind of ran, looks like a high likelihood of a win on this. It'd be a $5,000 to $10,000 fee. You'd go after it. Let's say we got $1 million grant.
Yep.
Out of that $1 million, would there be any more fee grant percentage of
That's in the
that?
budget, so not to interrupt, but out of that grant application, you're allocating a certain amount to how you're going to administer it. And they expect you to use the grant dollars for that. They
Okay.
typically allow for up to 20%. We don't come in and say, yes, we want 20% of that. The goal is to put as much of that award toward your project. So if you can do it in-house, great. We can surge up and hire the people to do it as well.
Do you contact the program officers of each grant that comes out? Like, say one comes up from EPA, do you have connections with the EPA to discuss it? Elected officials?
Before we ever even put a grant in front of you guys, that's what we're doing is this is our client, this is what they're working on. is this an eligible applicant?
Yeah.
And sometimes they say, nope, this is geographically limited, we're really focused on this one specific area. Sometimes they come back and say, yes, we actually need to distribute these dollars.
Yeah,
We
so as
need-
far as like our EPA office and stuff, you guys have connections there that you're in touch with?
I mean, it's very easy to reach out like that, and if we
Right.
can't open the door, we have 2 lobbyists on staff.
Okay.
Or excuse me, on contract.
Did I understand it's 10,000 to retain your firm
For a year.
for a year?
Yes, sir.
And approximately 5,000 to write a grant?
That's probably the bottom floor,
5 to 10.
5 to 10.
5 to 10?
Because the type of grants that you guys are looking at, because of the project, are going to be huge, 7-figure grants. And you may stumble across one that has an easier application process, but you're talking about hours and hours of technical writing. The joke with grant writing is, you start a grant saying, you tell them what you're gonna tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. And sometimes that's 30, 40, 50 plus pages. But compliance matters, formatting matters, following the rules matters.
On the front end of it, will you have all the requirements that we would have to meet if we get the grant? For example, environmental studies, all of the extra costs that's going to be added with each grant that we get?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We don't do anything without that being a piece of the puzzle, and you're submitting that as part of your budget.
I'd be curious to know if any 7-figure grants do exist for something like this. I just don't know. I mean, Leanne's looked into it pretty heavily as well.
Has Ann looked at grants, or has she mainly been looking at funding as far as loans? And that's
A little bit of
there's a
both.
difference. Because we're not looking for loans. We don't need any more loans. Trust me, we can get some loans.
Right. Yeah.
With interest rates.
Yeah. Because there are like USDA, rural
Yes.
development, y'all don't want anything to do with that loan program. We understand that.
Okay.
You guys tell us what to exclude and what to come back with.
But their loan program.
I'm not sure USDA is somebody we would want to be looking at, because that's where a lot of rural development money comes from, is from USDA.
Oh, it's
And-
great programs.
Yeah, we would love to explore those.
Yeah,
If
I
we
mean-
can,
I mean,
yeah.
USDA RD community facility grants, like this qualifies, this program qualifies directly, depending on what the LMI is and what you can, which areas you're looking at doing this. It's a function of population and then what your low to moderate income percentages are.
We met with Communities Unlimited, and they told us there was no grants that we qualify for. Based on, we're not all small systems, we're not all very small systems.
Yeah.
Our median household income, not low, and it's not, especially in Saline County, it's just not. They told us, we met with, the program director of Communities Unlimited, and she said there's no shot.
What's your biggest one-time grant win?
I believe it was part of HUD when he was in Joplin, over $100 million as part of that restructuring and the redevelopment of that community after the tornado. It won awards, JHAP, Joplin Housing Assistance Program, I think it was over $100 million.
That was a national disaster related event.
Situation like that.
And then COVID is like a lot of those other big grant programs that you wanted and were
Trying to give you money.
administering.
6:18 p.m.
The one problem I have with that is that, in those situations, it's been my experience, okay, they come to you. And they will come to you and they will tell you, you can get money here for this, you can get money for there for that. And so I can see where you can get $100 million real quick. The problem I have here is that, and I'm not bragging here, but in the time that I've been mayor of the city of Shannon Hills, I brought in more grants than all of the other mayors combined. Literally millions. I'm not making it up, but I've never spent a nickel. Never spent a nickel to get a grant. I paid administrative fees, or the management fees and stuff that you have, and that's included in most grants. They have that included. It's provided for you, so you don't have to pay for it. But I've never ever paid a fee up front for somebody to get a grant. To me, the key really is just having somebody that is focused on looking for the grant money. And their ear is tuned to the type of programs that will have money that we might be eligible for. that to me is the key. I mean, if we could afford to, we might, I'm just throwing things out here, but I mean, it might be an employee type thing,
Let me tell you why he's here. I met with Judge Brumley a couple of times in the last couple of months, and he asked me if we had talked to Grant Ryder or anything else, and they put me in touch with you, Jacob, I think. And he said, I would really like to see y'all pursue a grant.
Oh.
And so then I asked Leanne, she visited with you too, Jacob, and came back.
Probably tomorrow morning.
Yes, and she is working. I got an email. I'm jumping around on you a little bit,
Yeah.
and y'all too, but we got an email from her. She was coming, and then she had a meeting in another town at 6 p.m. She can make it here by 7:30. I said, we probably won't be there then. But she wanted to know how we felt about this, the volumetric rate, and the memberships of Sardis and Tull. And she is working, and I think she has made some connections out there. I'll let her speak to that. I'm not going to wade in there. But not trying to tell you what to do or anything else. I've never done that, never will. But that's why he's here.
You probably will.
Yep. So,
Are y'all working for the county?
We have a contract in front of Saline.
Okay, but they have,
Not committed yet.
okay.
I get at least 5 emails a month from this company. I'm ready. I bet you get some too, don't you? Yeah. I mean, this is,
Yeah.
Have you talked with anybody at CAPDD?
I have not, no. My one thing would be that I just feel really, I feel like Dickie has had extensive talks with Natural Resources Division and asked in depth what other funding opportunities are out there and what we could apply for. And the only thing that they even hinted at was WIFIA, and Leanne's been working hard on that.
yes, she is.
And I just feel, there was no other if anyone knows who's gonna administer that money, it's them. They're the ones that administer it. So I just don't, I don't know how many opportunities are out there.
I'm with you.
Is it worth finding out? I don't know.
On that note, I know they are working, all I did was sign for them to pursue this, where'd Matt go?
He's right there.
Or Brett can. Bye-bye. Thank y'all for coming. No, we were talking about ANRC and this paper that I signed with y'all, you sent to them to pursue this $10 million, that they throw
Yes.
out there at us.
We find out about that in what, 2
And
days?
that's coming up very shortly.
2 days?
And so, but there's a whole lot of talk going on, but this is where kind of the county's at. And he's keeping an eye on our Recovery Act money. And so this is where he's at. We've got a lot of talk going on, but we're not going.
I don't think the county's ever used a firm like this before. I don't know, but I don't think they have before.
I think, I love, please ask your PDD.
What?
They're already there, you guys are working.
Yeah.
Like, they're there to be transparent.
Yeah.
We'll present to AADO
Yeah.
in January to come in and support all the PDDs in the state through AEDC. We have the same contract we have a contract in front of AAC to come in and support all 75 counties. Part of what we do is we get creative with grant funding. It might not be a linear line of, there's a, public water, regional authority grant program, but how you can allocate other interesting grants to that. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Sorry I don't have some of the specifics that my partner has achieved over the years, but I'd be happy to answer those questions and put it in front of you guys for future consideration. We take this work really seriously. We care about it. We're not trying to take advantage of anybody. We're very good at what we do.
I believe that. And of course, we'll kick it around and everything, and we haven't talked to anyone else, but probably by the 20th, we need to do something.
20th of December?
I'm sorry, 15th of December.
15th
Our
of
next
December,
meeting.
okay.
So if we think about it, talk about it, whatever you want to do, I wouldn't ask you to do anything other than that.
Yeah, I think that, I'm disappointed that CAPDD didn't have somebody here tonight. I thought we were and reach out to them. Did we try to reach out to them?
No?
Okay.
No.
I've got 3 phone numbers I can give you. Or I can call, whichever one.
Call. That'll be fine. Any more questions for Jacob? If not, thank you very much. Good presentation.
Thank you.
We will talk about it. It's going to be very important to this board. Nice to meet you, and you have a good one. You driving back tonight, or you going to wait?
I'll meet with Leanne tomorrow morning. I've got a couple.
Oh, that's right, you said that.
Arkansas tomorrow,
Yeah,
so.
good.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you very much. All right, let me.
And I don't want anything I said to make anybody believe that I don't think we need somebody working on this kind of stuff, because I think that is, we've got to have somebody that is singularly focused on this type of thing.
That's correct.
And I'm not sure, the best way to accomplish that, But
Well, and I agree with what you just said. You need somebody focused on it, and you're not gonna find an employee for $10,000.
no, you're not.
What Leanne said.
You're not gonna find an employee.
Word for word. Yeah.
That's why, there's a couple things in the contract that, we can't do limitation of liability to them.
No.
We don't have that authority to limit their liability. That'll be a Perry thing, but otherwise, for $10,000, because, again, I don't know what's at the federal level. I have no clue. It's above my,
You have worked some on grants, any comments?
Yeah, the city of Bryant has an excellent grant writer. I'm not saying she would, she wouldn't, but I know that she researches grants, and she does keep an eye out for all water and wastewater ones. And she has received millions, and I think tens. She's received a lot of money for the city of Bryant in grants that she's applied for, and almost a lot of them have been successful. And she has not found one water or wastewater one that would apply to anything that we're doing at the city of Bryant based on median household income. And I asked her a long time ago to look out for one if she had anything about regionalization or Saline Regional. She knows about the project, and she has yet to find one. In her time here, she sent me one grant that could be meaningful for the city of Bryant that we're meeting on it next week, and that's
what's
it.
your zip code of Bryant?
72022? Yeah.
Okay, 72015 is considered low income.
But they won't base it off of just 72015.
How would they base that?
Of the entire water service
Yeah.
area, of all the systems.
So if you had
Well,
one
then,
in there that
If you have one that does not meet it, it kicks it, or is it,
Right.
how do you, because if you have some that are serving in a low to moderate income, like here, up at Toll,
Trasswood,
yeah, anything you're serving in that area, the 72015 zip code is considered, and the only reason I know that is because of electrical grants. I've tried to get
Yeah.
that particular area, and it's the south part of Benton.
Yeah.
The 72019 is not.
Well, I think it would be similar to what, I talked to the rural development, state director for rural development about funding, and we talked about the 10,000, they don't fund a system that's over 10,000 people. So most of this system is not eligible.
Correct.
And I said, well, some of the system's eligible, and he said, well, it's complicated. He said, we would have to analyze the system that is below 10,000. You apply for funding for just that system for Saline Regional, and then the funding would have to be funneled through Saline Regional. It could only be used for that particular area. It's very complicated.
Yeah, what they put on our funding application for our median household income? Natural Resources Division put one on there, didn't they? Would they just put Saline counties?
That's a good question, I don't know.
As
Yeah.
a general rule, I think
Look at
they
it.
use the census data for the
Yeah.
household income. 'Cause I know that's knocked us out too, because
Yeah.
a lot of the folks up on the mountain.
Yeah. It's not the only factor, but, like I said, our grants writer has not been able to find a single one that relates back to,
Dickie, I know you
besides
don't have
with you.
any staff. That's the thing that keeps kicking us, is we don't have any staff. You don't have anybody that, we're relying.
Yeah.
on volunteers and who we can talk in to do things for us.
Right.
But those things being said, I mean, every congressional office, every senator's office has somebody that does this kind of stuff. We just need to get them on board. I mean, we've got to, and it's going to take, calling every one of these offices and say, hey, this is who we are. We're gearing up an operation that's going to provide water for however many 100,000 or million it's going to be, and that's going to get their attention. And see if we can get them to commit some hours, some personnel hours, staff hours to those, because they love that. They love
Or some earmarks. We've been suggested to do that too. Reach out to the senators and ask for earmarks, especially Bozeman. This is right up his alley.
Yes. I mean, earmark, that's how Pulaski County got every nickel they needed in one fell swoop to do their part of the Southwest Trail. But they're not as easy to get as they were back then either. But you see my point.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to help.
I'm with you. Don't ever get me wrong.
I'll put some of my water department folks on it, if you need me to help you make some phone calls and stuff.
Sure.
But I don't want you to think that I expect you to do all this stuff.
No,
I don't.
Never. Not my style, my friend.
No.
My only concern is I'm spending time with the judge when I can, because out of his concern of this ARPA money, and we haven't got any more work. So we need to push it, whatever it is, whatever it takes.
I agree.
We need to show him. He had me to fill out, which I was very okay with, some kind of report for him to take to his JPs about how much property we own, what we do, everything. One of the papers you did, Mariah, back there, I used part of it, and gave him a pretty good report to turn in. And he said, we need to keep this coming. We need to report something.
Yeah. With these easements, that's an asset every time we get one. And you need to add those to, or whoever's putting that together for you. Yeah.
So I don't owe this gentleman anything. He's just very nice, but I'm doing what the judge asked me.
Yeah.
Getting this in here. And I thought he did a great job. And
I thought he did too.
They're all alike. That's the first one I've ever talked to. So.
Yeah, he's. But he didn't make any money unless he brings some in. But I take that back, because they do have their $10,000 fee, and then they've got a $5,000 fee if they apply for a grant too.
Minimum.
Right.
Minimum. And they've never done it. So far, they haven't done anything with utilities, which I think is a big red flag.
By our next meeting on the 15th, we need to have some kind of grant report or somebody. Anybody's got any ideas, or talk about whatever we need to. We need somebody on that. And hopefully we'll hear from Matt. You have any idea on ANRC? How long would it take after that they have their monthly meeting?
Well, we'll know.
They'll announce it in the meeting.
It's live Zoom meeting Wednesday morning at 9:30 or something like that.
9:30.
What meeting?
Debbie will give a report, and she'll make a recommendation, and we'll know right then.
What meeting did he say? Which meeting?
Wednesday morning.
So could we,
next
as a board,
Wednesday,
get
I
an
guess.
email
Next
on
week.
that day or after from somebody?
Yeah, sure, I'll watch that.
Okay.
What date
I'll
did
be
you
on.
say?
Wednesday morning.
This coming Thursday?
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
I can forward you guys the link if
Wednesday.
you want it, to watch yourself if you want to. I'll forward the board link.
Yeah.
Do both in case I don't pull it up. So, thank you.
But we
very
have a
much.
request in for some general obligation bond fund.
Yes.
Which is a loan, but it's likely that they would defer the interest for 10 years, things like that. It's very, it'd be,
That's a grant.
in some ways, yeah.
When they defer the interest for 10 years, that's a grant.
Are they gonna add the same stipulations they put on the other one?
Nope. because it's backed by the state of Arkansas, so you don't, the bonding requirements go away, none of that goes away. The SRF, that's on the SRF money.
Yeah, okay.
And I will say, I told Dickie this coming in this morning, but, you know, there's others working on funding.
Yes.
There's others working on some funding,
They are,
ideas too, so.
they are. Yep.
And Bozeman, when we met with Chris and Debbie that day, were you there?
No, Dickie was.
I was.
Ted was there.
Ted was there.
It was
And he stressed that, you know, earmarks from Bozeman's office would be a good place to go, but someone's got to run that down. It takes time every day.
I've spoken with Bozeman twice, and as chief of staff has called asking for any information on it. I was told to pause, but I'll get you his number and tell him that you'll be calling him.
I told them I worked with Bozeman's office on some personal stuff for part of my family, and they did great. They moved. French Hill never did hear back from that, but Bozeman's office moved, so.
Well, he does know, when you contact him, he does know about the project.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Yep.
I would definitely contact him.
Yep.
Yes, someone's just got to contact him and stay in their ear and stay active with them, try to get, you know, squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing.
I agree.
But Chris seemed to think that there could be a good opportunity there. The state's looking for matching funds to go along with the SRF money. And so we need to come up with some matching funds somehow.
Like you
Well, I'm gonna try to get the first budget out next year, I think, and maybe recorded history, I don't know, but, and so they're gonna have to do some earmarks and different things in order to get all of the players to sign off at the federal level, is what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I would think that, earmarks should be fertile ground for us, but yeah, next year is gonna probably be the one shot we have at it.
That's what we ought to hire, someone to go put the pressure on our politicians to get that done. How do you do that?
Well, it depends on what level you're gonna try to do it too. I mean, you know, I actually believe, you know, that, yeah, $10,000, we could maybe get somebody part-time. You're not gonna get anybody full-time.
I mean, if through the legislature is our best option to get some earmarked money,
Yeah.
let's focus on where the honey hole is.
We're rapidly, though, approaching the point, y'all, where that, you know, we're gonna have somebody to do some of this stuff. I mean, you know,
So,
and-
not this man, but use him for an example that was here.
Yeah.
Can he do the grant and do that? Not just him, but anybody.
Reaching out to your legislative group, that's a different,
Yeah.
that's not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you gotta have connections.
So you don't get that for 10,000, right?
No, I mean, yeah, we should be able to utilize who we have.
What you'd be looking for is somebody to be a retired person or something, you know, that's looking.
Doesn't the county already have assets like that already in play? That maybe we just, isn't the county already using someone to work that maybe we just came up with? I mean, I got no idea, but.
The other thought too is, maybe we could partner with the county for a part of this guy or something. I don't know, or some other way, you know? Maybe that would solve a problem for the judge, yeah? Maybe he could get 5,000 from them, but he couldn't get 10, or maybe it'd make them feel better. I don't know,
I think we're gonna have to find somebody.
Has the judge straight up said he endorses these people?
You've already said it.
I agree. That person's gonna have, somebody that's intelligent enough to make, you know, phone calls on our behalf,
So
take care of correspondence for the board. I mean, it's amazing we've gotten as far as we have without any clerical help at all. I mean,
I would say this to the board, by the 15th, we need to think about this and come back with somebody. come up with an idea or whatever. 'Cause we need to move on that.
Yeah.
We're down to 3 million on that money, and, this other money comes in, that's gonna buy us a bunch of time, but even with that, we've gotta have somebody attacking that $100 and $200 million, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we should have more information by then, I get it.
If nothing else, at the next meeting, we should be able to at least divide up our congressional list, you know, where each one of us can take some of them, you know, and so that we're not counting on you to make all of the phone calls.
Yeah, Paul Childress has publicly announced that he would help us if anyone reached out to him and asked him, so.
Yes.
I think that's great. Let's use them.
I'll try to have him at the next meeting, we'll ask him. How about that?
That'd be great.
Call Paul. All right, let's move along. And, you have any questions, call me. Easement committee report, Sean, are you ready to give us a shot of that? And I got a comment for that too, buddy, when you get through. You're doing a good job.
Y'all got the sheet that I gave you. The Cates signed their easement. The Salzman easement, which is the one I met with Mr. Arthur out on his property, he's ready to sign. Just gotta wait for some money to put back in the account. So Ron can write us a check for his. Sherrod's was signed. Costello's, I got the other little easement signed and then gave them the checks for both. Mr. Howard got their easement paid for. That Kimsey stuff's what you were talking about.
Yes, sir, I'm gonna speak to that in just a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. And then the McGeorge stuff, I called Edward Jackson the other day and talked to him, and they'll get on that pretty quick. So that ought to be an easy go. For Volker, they've had a few things that have been harder, I guess you could say. We got one easement they're having to get like 5 or 6 different signatures on. So it's just getting passed around. And then they've worked with Perry on several other little things, but one of them, that Ashcraft property, the number 5 there, that one's very complicated. So they don't know how they're gonna have to have that written up check-wise and all that. Anyway, it's just a very complicated deal because 2 people were deceased, and then the sister's gonna have, I guess, the sole heir of it, but a lot of medical bills apparently, so they've got to figure that one out. And then they've got a few that are willing to sign. They've made some offers on some others. Going over to the other section, TSR over to the plant. I talked to Eric Wolfer today. They're gonna meet during Thanksgiving. His family's gonna meet and they're gonna talk about their easement. Pretty sure they're good with everything. It's just a little bit complicated. They had one easement that they just put into the trust. So we're adding it in and put it all in together. And I guess, I don't know, some of the Hutchinson property and the Carter property, I don't know a whole lot about. And then Matt's been working with the Hutzel property. But I think we walked the Carter property and figured that out.
Yeah, I walked the Carter property last week. It's good to go. Couldn't go through there, no problem.
Have you talked with Mark Carter?
I've talked with their engineers. And then the Lexington property, actually Matt was in last time, we're gonna go around it.
All right, so that's the easement stuff. The other thing that was on the agenda for tonight was the piece of land out on Congo Road. And it's actually a new owner by just a month or 2.
Really?
It is. Yeah. So the Kruk family has bought that. It's a dad and son.
Who,
Ruck. K-R-U-U-C-K,
Okay, yeah.
Wait, they sold the property by the plant?
the 2 acres out on the road.
This is not the 13, this is the 2 just up.
Right, it's tucked on the for sale property.
Yeah.
Road frontage.
I'm looking for it.
What?
Anyway, I talked to the new owners. It's obviously a 2 acre piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them about getting or buying a strip of land, and at first Brett was wanting a 100-foot wide strip, which takes a little over a half an acre from them if we did that.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't real keen on.
I'm sure.
They wanted a lot of money for 0.6 acres. So, and they paid, I think, $70,000 an acre for what they bought.
70,000?
But they were wanting 220 for that.
That's it, Matt?
Sir?
Is this what we're looking at here?
Yes, yes.
Part of it. That makes that 45,000.
So we would still need property from the Purcells?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you were here. I can't remember. Were you here when Randy said we offer him 55,000 an acre? Yeah, I think you were. And so that's $750,000.
I listened to both meetings last month.
Yeah.
That's for 13 acres.
So this yellow
Yeah.
piece is the full Purcell 13.5 acres.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
They're
the
well
thought
set
was,
fairly.
why don't we look at getting the 2 acres?
That's right, yeah, okay, I do remember that, yeah.
Okay,
And since, he since found out that it's sold. within like
literally
6
about 2 months ago.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth here, Sean, but you're approaching them about buying part of their newly purchased 2 acres for our road.
And then,
Basically instead of putting an easement down it, just purchasing that, and that way you could have straight shot coming off of your road across Congo with your pipeline, and just running straight through to the 40 acres. That's if we can get, 100 or 70 acre strip of land from the Purcells. That's what I would prefer, is just a straight, almost like an easement, but just purchase it. That way you own the,
Yeah, the problem is that 100 feet is,
100 feet's a lot.
but 70 feet is really not enough. I mean,
can I ask why?
We can't turn a truck
Yeah,
coming from the south.
look
we
at the
can't turn a
angle of that
truck
road.
into-
I see the angle of the road, and you got a 30-foot radius on that, and you still don't have that radius down to the bottom of the property line.
A 30-foot radius isn't near big enough.
It'd be like a 32-foot radius to the edge of the property line.
That's still not, what you're seeing right here, a truck could not turn right.
Well, the truck's not gonna come from the south. If they did, they're going through 2 roundabouts that are single lane.
That's come off the interstate.
If they come off, they will, I doubt they will wanna come off of the interstate and go north up Congo. If you're bringing equipment in, and like construction equipment, you're gonna wanna come from the north. You are not gonna wanna come from the south, because the Congo roundabouts, they will take all the signs that are out and then the roundabout out.
I mean, we'll do whatever you tell us to do, but typically it's not good practice for us to design an entrance where you can't turn a truck in from both directions. I mean,
Sean, what was the price on that 2 acres again total with, they told you they'd have to have?
For
I don't know.
No, they didn't, no.
They didn't
He told you what they
They
paid.
paid 70 an acre for it.
70,000 an acre.
Okay.
Got that?
For the 0.6 acres that I was trying to get, that's a 100-foot swath through there. They wanted $220,000.
Crap.
That's a bargain, yeah, to them.
Basically, they said, we don't want you to buy our property.
That's it. They don't want you anywhere near us.
And they'll get that one day, they will. But,
Well, they've got a plan. I mean, they're putting an automotive shop on that piece of property.
oh, okay, yeah.
They own an automotive shop on Salem Road, so just around the corner.
So they're
But
gonna move out there.
renting from their Kirkpatrick's.
Ah,
Yeah.
There's
Makes
a
a lot of
big-
sense.
there's a
Wow.
big connection.
And Kirkpatrick's already told them all about our little project.
yeah, that's right, that's right.
Uh-huh.
So, 200,000 for 2 acres, I'm just talking.
No, for
For a half
For
acre.
a half acre, I'm sorry, so
Yeah.
200,000. I mean, shit. That property, for sale property, we could go quite a bit for that. And I realize the 700,000 is a lot, but we don't need much of it and turn around and sell the other immediately. And we'd have less in it than what they were asking for that.
No.
I'm just talking.
I know, but we're eating up all the road frontage.
Yeah,
So no, we're not gonna be able to turn around and sell it.
yeah.
Our best bet is to try to come down that line somehow, straight down that line. We should have been looking at that from day one, was straight down that line. Because the water line, the raw water line is literally right across the street, isn't it?
You talking about right here? Is that what you're talking about?
No, go to the other one. So you get foot to the other,
Oh, okay, all right.
you see that, the bottom of that property line?
Yeah, there.
That's right, he plans on bringing it up, the raw water line right down that line.
Yeah. Now, why are we getting that direction straight right down?
Coming
The
through here.
raw water line's coming
Okay.
from here.
That's why you gotta at least get an easement through here to get it over here at least.
50-foot easement.
40 acres.
Right?
You gotta walk away with that at least, otherwise you gotta
The
go
best
around
route,
and,
work to go straight.
or come over, yeah.
Something that-
Okay, and this road can't be within a certain distance of the water.
From these same people?
No, the turning radius of the 18
Did you
wheelers
get
coming
50
from
foot
the
wide
south.
easement?
That's why, this right here.
Yes, he's worried about,
And the driveway line.
but I would,
Matt, I have a question.
Right, okay,
The
okay.
Driveway, why couldn't you do, if you got a 70-foot wide strip, why couldn't you do a 50-foot wide driveway at the very front out there?
The acreage you're talking about, Dickie, is not on this picture. That's just part of it, isn't it?
We're part of it.
Yeah, it's just the,
I mean, something's better than nothing.
But I'm just thinking, I
I'm
mean,
saying
this
that's
part
not
over here is,
given typical design.
Wouldn't you need 50 foot for the easement anyways?
Right, we need 50-foot easement.
Right.
Yeah.
And how big of a driveway do you want? 50 foot?
you're doing a 20-foot wide road.
At least a
Driving
20-foot wide road, and you gotta have ditches on each side and all.
the question, do you have to have a ditch on, because I would have, if we're wanting to work with the current property owners and they're building a shop, I would think they would be solid pavement all the way to their shop, not a ditch.
See where you're going.
I don't even know if we have to have a ditch yet. We don't have any topo, can't say.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
but you're saying you need a 70-foot swath with a 20-foot road.
Well, we need to build, this is gonna be the main entrance for the
Right.
plant, right? So we need to plan on at least a 20-foot wide road.
I agree,
So
but
if that's,
can we reduce that down to less than 70 foot? I'm asking.
well, we were reserving 50 feet for 2 pipelines,
Okay,
all the way here.
okay,
So there's 50.
yep, there's 50.
So that leaves 20 of asphalt.
What, man, I got water lines up under asphalt all day long.
Well, we could do that. If you, like you said, you get a 70, we'll work with 70.
I mean, I'm asking, are you saying,
we can work with it if we can get
If
it.
you get a 70, we'll work with 70.
but what about 50? What if they say 50?
If they're asking 220,000 for 100, would they even be willing to discuss?
So here's, their biggest argument on that is they like the road frontage on Congo Road. And I understand that.
Yeah.
If they're wanting to maybe put 2 buildings there, if we only took 50 foot of it, it would,
Because originally, when they gave us that price, it was 100 foot.
yeah,
Yeah.
or 100 foot. So if we could shrink that in half, they might go for that. I tried to get them to say, you know, if we put this road in, it's gonna be a private road. Your driveways can come off that, you could have a, you know, a wraparound driveway, and if they put a driveway out on Congo, that's their choice. But, you
You're
know,
gonna share the road with them, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't really, I mean, if
Why not?
we're coming with our hat in our hand.
I'm
you
just
know.
asking.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Right, because I was thinking we would put our gate all the way over at our 40 acres, and that was just my thought. And then if we did that, we really don't need the 50 foot of the for sale property all the way in. I mean, I just know that we're pinned pretty hard on trying to come straight across that road. And it might cost us some money, Dickie, to get that, but by the time you put in 2 90-degree bends there, 2 90-degree bends up there.
Yeah.
And pay $750,000 for
Yeah.
the property.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I'm with you.
But I like the way you think.
What's a 70-foot easement going to
That's why I think. Okay.
if you did a 70-foot?
That way, let's do it this way.
If you use it or you own it, what's the two prices?
so here's what I tried to get them to do, is a land swap. And so at first, when we were doing the 100-foot swath right through here, I was trying to use that 0.6 acres, and if we were gonna buy this whole piece back here, and I was gonna try to square that up to where they had a lot longer piece of property.
Yeah.
They didn't like that. They didn't want the property back there. I said, well, if we did that, I mean, if we're building a road in here, you could have a driveway in here, a driveway in here, and a driveway over here.
They didn't like that?
And I mean, it's a private road, and I didn't understand why that wouldn't be more beneficial for the property.
But they didn't like it.
They didn't like that.
They want to come off of
Stuff out on the road.
Or maybe just positioning for the money?
So if we come in, if we only needed 50 foot there, and I don't know, I mean, we'd really have to look at that. The other thing that I thought about is, you know, this piece of property here, if we came in and took a triangle piece here, then we can make our radius a little bit better. But I don't know how much, I mean, Brett, that's more of your call on that, how much we would have to get to break that right there. But if we did 50 feet, then I could maybe get them to buy off on that. Because it's almost like the easement, but I just say we don't get the easement because it's going to be our road. It'll be our private road to maintain.
Yeah.
But they'll have a little bit of skin in the game because they're going to have to drive
that way too.
Well,
Okay, so you need more, that's, one of the questions was, where are you planning to take finished water?
back out the same,
That same entrance, okay. So you would have 2 raw water lines plus a finished water line. That makes sense.
That would make sense.
I can see where
If
you're.
if you're doing that, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, 70 feet would be skinny. I just don't know if I'm convincing on 100 feet.
You're trying that idea, though. I like that a lot.
220.
Yeah.
But
This property owner you're talking about getting a triangle from is, I mean, do you feel good about them? I mean, do you think that's?
Triangle, I haven't even talked to them.
There's no reason to
It's an
talk.
option. That's just an option. If we could get a triangle piece there, it just cuts the radius.
and the other thing that is a wild card in all this is we have no idea if the Purcells will even parcel out this
What I'm
back corner
thinking.
of their property.
You're gonna take all of their road frontage?
Purcells?
Yeah.
None.
How much are you gonna leave them?
We would take this back corner, which I think is about 4 acres. So we would leave them with 9.5 acres.
Out of 13.
But I don't think Randy has approached them about asking them if they'll parcel out.
I would say, ask Sean to go back and instead of putting a water tank on it, just have a 70-foot straight line and ask if they would be willing to do that, and remove the ditch on the north side and show that it's completely connected, so that it can be an easement also. And ask them, do you want to sell it, or do you want an easement? that we are responsible for maintaining, even that it's still there, that is an ingress egress through there that going back to that back part, you know? And we can potentially, if we have that same thing, we can talk to the Purcells and tell them that we will give them access off of Congo and off of that road also.
There you
A
go.
little bit premature. I mean, there's a lot of topography up here. And straight lines, construction limits aren't the same thing. I mean, this just shows part of the contours back here. But there's some topography to deal with back here, and to assume that we can build a straight line road and not have cut fill well outside of our property, we don't know that. We haven't,
Okay.
we don't know that.
Why are we making decisions and trying to come up with the size of,
What's wrong with Orange Road?
You don't get into your, those issues till you get back here though, really, do you?
Well, our topo,
Otherwise.
Looking at your gradient lines, what I was looking
it's
at.
just the limits of our topo that we have.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but I know there's a large hill right here that we're gonna have to come up, and there's gonna have to be some cut fill to deal with.
Well, once we get that far back, it's not an issue of how wide we are, is it, really?
Well, he was saying were you saying just get 70 feet
Yeah.
from the Purcells?
yeah.
I mean,
You're on the Purcell's property still.
Yeah.
But we can't even go to them until we get something from the front owner saying,
one's gotta be contingent on the other.
I agree, we gotta do the first one, so there's no reason for Randy even to go to the Purcells until we get the, I'd say 70 foot, and then easement or ownership with a street and see what they say. I think, go from there, and if they say no, then,
You talking about get 70 foot from the Crook,
yes.
and then try to get the 4 acres from the Purcells?
No, I'm saying at first, just get the 70,
All the way.
see if they were even willing to do that, and if they are, how much.
Crooks?
Yes.
And if say, yes, there's a price that we can live with.
Correct.
Then we go to the Purcells and ask them for what?
And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
But then what's the question of the Purcells?
To me, it's a 70 foot, but you just say, well, I gotta do some other, because so,
Well, I mean, there's,
so you can't tell me a 70 foot will work or not work, so I can't tell you 70 foot or 4 acres.
well, I think 4 acres would work. I mean.
Because you'll be able to put your water tank right there where you want
The
it.
first time you'd asked me about the 70 foot all the way up, you just asked me that. And
I've said that the whole, because I think the past couple of meetings, I said, why do we keep worrying about putting a water tank right there when they already own 40 acres to put a water tank?
That's just a placeholder, that doesn't have to be.
But you keep putting it there, put it over there then.
Little higher. It doesn't have to be there, yeah, it's the highest location.
If I remember correctly, the difference was only like 40 foot, wasn't it? On the elevation.
And I said the last week, it could be moved.
Does that make that much difference in our numbers?
4 foot.
4 foot.
No, it's more than 4 feet.
It's 4 foot difference between this and if it was on the south, or like.
Okay.
the road and-
No, there's a considerable drop down.
And
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
There's a considerable drop down to under our property.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
you
yes,
count
we can
those
build it,
numbers.
it requires more pedestal, of course, it costs more money.
Mhm.
I was just trying to build at the highest location. But it can be moved.
Yeah.
Well, but, okay, then the question becomes, okay, which is more expensive, the land or us raising our water tower heights instead of the land?
I agree, but right now, we can't do anything because we don't know what the Purcells are going to give us or even give us. Let's start with the 70 foot and let's go from there.
Well, I don't have a problem
On the
with
front
that.
property.
Huh?
On the front property.
Yes. And then we'll come back to that.
But do you have a metric even in your mind on how much we're talking about in difference in changing the location of the water tower?
Every foot, that's what he's wondering.
Every foot's how much?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's why we're talking about the land.
Yeah.
Right.
And you say, I mean, it's 6 of one, it's half a dozen the other.
Yeah, which.
You need those numbers, put it at their location and find out, how much difference there is actually between the two locations, that one there or the one we already got. And you're right he needs to find out if they're even willing to discuss that. That may not even.
You just go from there.
But we get the two numbers in, we can make a decision. Does that make sense?
I think the water storage tank should just be removed from the equation.
Is what?
It should just be removed from the equation.
Do you think is that cost prohibitive?
No.
No, I'm saying it could just be moved onto our site.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what needs to happen.
I think that's probably what needs to happen
It's just
too.
clogging up the conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
We could move the water storage tank off the site.
And then we can tell these other folks, say, we don't need you anymore, huh? Now, we still got to get our water lines in there.
Yeah, we still.
Yes. Never mind, okay.
But you could, okay,
You gotta get 3 water lines up the corridor and a road, and one day we're gonna need gas, sewer, power, we still don't know where power's gonna go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's.
Other things you gotta come through.
We're just limiting our utility corridor.
You still have-
70 feet, so.
so what's the limitations about Lawrence Lane? I mean, there's a 50-foot right-of-way there approximately, plus whatever easement you can get on either side of that. Is that still an option for consideration?
I mean, we're gonna spend a lot of money on Lawrence.
A lot of houses.
Rebuilding that road and dealing with those houses.
Yep.
We're gonna build a road anyway.
Yeah.
The power lines, all of the gas, I mean, there's gas meters right up against.
Well, I mean, it can be used for something, maybe just the drinking water line out of there.
Oh, yeah, I think that Lawrence Lane could be a backdoor access
Yeah.
plan or something like that.
And maybe you just need 50-foot, get you a 50-foot easement for your 2 raw water lines coming through here, be done with it, and then try to maybe get as much private drive out of that as you can, but you still also have Lawrence Lane that maybe we can figure out how to exploit that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Some of those houses are pretty close to Lawrence, to the road, as you get on back just a little bit, so that.
We've been through in a hot seat before, ain't nothing we're gonna experience again.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we've been, they can work with us.
We'll go out at 70 and see what you say, that's the plan.
I was just wondering if we confused y'all totally. We know, y'all know what we're talking about, what we're trying to communicate.
all angles, it's all right.
We can
All right,
fix
Sean,
our
you
road.
got a direction, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. On that note,
That's not to say if those discussions, an epiphany doesn't come about, don't hesitate to bring it back to us. I mean, don't feel like you're constrained there. We're at a point, we've got to be creative.
on that note, he was talking about the easements. Real quick, let's talk about Kinsey Sexton. And probably, I want you to think about taking a vote in a minute after we talk about this. We've been dealing with them, and it may be moving. Now, this Kinsey that I spoke to before the meeting started, just today, it's been hanging for a while, as Sean knows. So Perry had asked me if y'all would consider voting that if this fails or goes away or we don't move in 10 days, that we will move to, and the reason for this is because that attorney is from Dallas, that it's in a trust with his attorney, these two sisters have. And he has told, he gave Perry all his stuff to think about, he's told them, so now then this lady is gonna start visiting with Perry. I don't know where that'll go. But Perry's saying, I've tried everything I can. Could I get maybe a vote to move on condemning that in the very near future?
Was it amicable condemnation is the only way to get paperwork
And
done.
that's the only thing left.
I mean, we had to do that at the village with the highway department. They couldn't take it, they had to, they couldn't sell it, they had to condemn it in order for them to get land.
Yeah.
And so if it's an amicable, the only way to get it done, and we're not really hurting anybody's feelings, let's go
And he
ahead.
Has he made an offer
Yes, they know.
and increased it by 5% when they rejected the first offer?
They haven't rejected. They've asked for consideration on moving the line a little and doing some other things out there. And Perry told them the same price everybody's paying, left it there.
Dickie, do you have her number?
Yes.
Called you?
Oh,
You
let
give
me,
it to me.
I'll text it to you. I do have it. I talked to her this evening, late this evening.
You mind if I just call it?
No. Whatever it takes to get this done, my friend. But Perry's saying after a 2 to 4 week period, and they haven't done anything, then we need to at least waive condemnation at them, see if they move.
Can we wait and see if Tom gets anywhere?
I'm okay with that. I'll tell him.
I would say, we still got,
There you go.
19 more easements that have not been signed, so we can wait till the next meeting, and if it was at the next meeting, if it's not there, I will be happy to make that motion.
All right? We don't need a motion.
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
just carry that to him.
Yeah, just say,
And I like it.
I mean, but we still have a lot of other easements still to get.
Yes, we do. And I hate condemnation, so I'll go the max. Thank you very much. Matt, if you would, update on water line routing, anything you need to report?
The water line alignment is set.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Lots of.
Yeah.
That's right, the same river.
That's fair.
It's set for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's gonna be all kinds of changes, I'm sure, for now.
We had
Any
another one.
environmental challenges you foresee?
Yeah, we have, the environmental field work is ongoing. There's not been anything, they told you anything?
They've been trying to keep in contact, and they're going through their 404 permit.
Yeah.
When you say it's set, how are you getting around the property just west of Mountain View Road? Are you going to the north of it? Is that what y'all decided?
Yeah, we're going up.
Okay.
Car's property. Yeah, we're gonna try to go north of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Brent went out and did spend a day in field recon, and everything looks good out there.
Okay.
And so,
Well, at the last meeting, y'all were still,
Yeah,
so
we
y'all are now north of that.
we've since done that.
I know y'all were discussing it or thinking about it, but,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's where we're headed.
Good deal. Last thing is on the energy
Will you send me
inquiry into the property. We know anything more, got a little bit of information. That's-
No.
I can update it.
Again, the only thing that came up is, at the last meeting, you know, they said they were going to be meeting. They postponed their meeting. Entergy, the group that would be deciding, so, again, with the holidays coming up, who knows when they're going to meet. So,
So, okay, they're not waiting on us.
they are not waiting on us.
Okay, good deal.
I have not seen any communications unless Matt's received communications from Kim, so I have not either, so.
Real quick, I talked a little bit about Little Creek Water. We're in new business now. Casey Reed is the board with Little Creek Water Association in Grant County. He will need to work with Tull. I told him we would do whatever, and he'd come to a meeting and find out everything he needs to know. And there's going to be more, so we will have to address that. I think y'all did a good job. Last thing, is there anybody here that would like to come to the podium, ask the board a question? Any concerns? If not, we're in good and welfare.
Need to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.